I remember when I first opened up this channel, it was 5 years ago, March 8th, 2012, right? And I think the second video I did was remembering Biggie Small's 15 years after his passing. And here we are 20 years later. 20 years after his passing, 5 years after I did that video. And didn't even think I'd still be doing YouTube. Didn't think I would have this many subscribers. And I thank everybody who subscribed to me, whether you agree with me or not, on issues. I thank the people who are loyal subscribers who don't talk shit about me behind my back. But the topic, of course, is Biggie Smalls. And it's not going to be a biographical piece. There's nothing I can tell you about Biggie that you guys don't already know. All right? I think the first time that I saw him, even though I didn't really know who he was at the time, was in a video with Supercat, Puff Daddy, or P. Diddy now, and Big. And it was Dolly, Dolly, My Baby. The junk, Dolly, 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 My Baby. Biggie had the junk, I love it when you call me Big Papa, the showstopper, the rhyme dropper. I'm like, okay. It was a little bit different. And like I said, I didn't really know who he was. You know what I'm saying? Then I remember seeing, this might have been earlier, in the Source magazine, there was a section called, oh my God, was it called Unsigned Hype? I think that was the name of it. And it was a feature of him, and he was talking about, this is before Biggie blew up, like, you know what I'm saying? And it was called, I think it was called Unsigned Hype, and it was talking about him in his little interview. And talking about his aspirations of being a rap artist. And I think it was when I was in 8th grade. That's when I really remember Biggie blowing up, because that's when I believe Ready to Die dropped. And everybody kept talking about that album. And I remember seeing, what he looked like then. And I said, oh, okay, that's that guy. I remember him. And I instantly liked him because I liked his personality when he rhymed. He just had a flow. To this day, I think he had the best flow I've ever heard of a rapper. It's debatable whether he's the greatest lyricist of all time. I think he is. Some people might say his other rappers. But his lyricism, his flow, is second to none. It still is to this day, in my opinion. I rank Tupac the greatest rapper now. I used to say it was Biggie, but I have to look at everything, and I see that I think it's Tupac Shakur is the greatest rapper of all time. But I still will say that I don't think that Tupac can hold a candle to Biggie as far as lyric for lyric. But Tupac's delivery elevated his relatively average rhyme skills and his overall impact on rap, because he transcended rap. He's such an inspirational figure and such an influential figure that, I think that can't be surpassed by anybody. But going back to Biggie, it was interesting too because, he had a certain look. He was dark skinned. He was heavy, real heavy set, and got bigger over time. 300 to 350 pound dude. Considered not very attractive. But he was this huge rap star. And I can relate to that because I'm a big dude, dark skinned. I guess, what I'm saying, in white America's eyes, I'm not a marquee idol, but I've grown to have some respect on YouTube for, I guess, for putting out historical context and content, whether you agree with it or not, But Biggie was the headliner, man, when it came to Bad Boy. And for a short period of time, for about 2 years, Bad Boy ruled the East Coast. Now, of course, their only rival was on the West Coast. And that, while it was tantalizing at first, man, it got really out of hand. You know, the East Coast, West Coast thing. I don't have to tell you guys that. Those of you who remember it know it. Those of you who are historians but too young at the time know about it now. It got really out of hand, man. And that could have been squashed. It could have been squashed so much earlier than it was. It shouldn't have led to bloodshed. Okay? But it got really personal. And it went beyond just the two rappers that are primarily associated with it. It went beyond the two labels associated with it. It actually went to almost a near permanent beef between individuals who lived on the East Coast, individuals on the West Coast, those who liked Biggie or those who liked Tupac. I mean, it was ridiculous. It even got to a point, man, where I remember after Tupac died, I remember being at a party and I remember voicing that I wasn't a big Tupac fan. And I actually had dudes that wanted to fight me because I said that. And that's when I thought to myself, number one, I'm in Virginia. What the fuck are you doing being mad about that anyway? You know, we're not in California. Number two, even if I didn't like Tupac, what the fuck does that got to do with you? Are you related to him? No. I didn't say I like him as a person. I didn't like him as an artist at the time. But my opinion has changed. I mean, it got really fucking out of hand, man. But I guess even after Tupac died, the thought for most people was, well, we still got Biggie. You know what I'm saying? We still got Biggie. This is the days before the internet really exploded. The internet was really in its extreme infancy stages at that time. There weren't really, it was nothing like how it is now, okay? Didn't really have websites that would go into intricate detail about this and that and the other. So we didn't know about certain things until after the Rampart scandal and, things that Puffy's been accused of since then, things that Suge Knight been accused of, all these different conspiracy theories and all these little details. None of that shit was really known by then. But I always remember where I was March 9th, 1997, right? It was a Sunday. And I remember looking forward to a Bulls-Knicks game coming in the afternoon, late the afternoon. And I still say that 97 Knicks team could have beaten the Chicago Bulls team in a 7-game series. I think they could have, had they not been on the short end of their suspension in the playoffs against the Miami Heat, where they blew a 3-1 lead, mostly primarily because of the suspension. The players that they had to sit down were unfavorable for them. Now, I might do a video, too, about the Miami Heat and Knicks and how I thought that Knicks team was superior, even though, I'll get into that later on, you know what I'm saying? Because I think there's a lot of discrepancies and a lot of false things I'm seeing out there as far as that Knicks team in comparison to other teams. But anyway, I remember being, hyped up, waking up, thinking, okay, I'm going to see that game, whatever, right? And then I turn on MTV, and it's an old spring break concert being given by Notorious B.I.G., and scrolling across the screen was The rapper Christopher Wallace, aka Notorious B.I.G, was shot and killed last night in Los Angeles. Yada 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 yada. He was 24 years old. Details are emerging, but breaking news: he was shot and yada yada. And I was absolutely devastated. Absolutely devastated. And I remember my brother was kind of upset, man. Was like, why the fuck did he go out there? Why the fuck did he go out there, knowing how hot it is out there, how much they don't like him out there? And it was a fucked up day, man, for hip hop. And then the Knicks beat the Bulls. It was a fucked up day. But his absence, as well as Tupac's, is still missed to this day. I get really irritated when I see people say shit like, well, in today's rap. Like, come on, man. Like, what you know, like, in today's rap, would they be, you know, they ain't shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, that, yeah. I mean, whatever, man. I'm to the point now, I'm going to stop, like, I'm seriously thinking about no longer making videos giving opinions to why I think certain personalities or certain athletes or whatever would flourish in today's game, because for some reason everything gets interpreted as hating or I'm an old dude or whatever, man. So I might just start reporting the news, you know, just objectively, and doing historical videos, because people on YouTube try to bait you into doing like back and forth to help out their channels. You know, I've seen other channels in the past who are much larger than me fall for that. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not going to keep arguing back and forth about shit that can't be proven anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I'm no longer doing that. But this video is about Biggie and remembering him, and tell me what you guys think. And remember about Notorious B.I.G.